So, what you looking at?
Ah, I see they've released a fix for the Gary's mod exploit.
Y do you mean the one that only affected Windows?
On behalf of the Linux Gaming Master Race, we at LGC would just like to say,
Oh, wow. Also, yes. Coming up on Linux Gamecast Weekly, Valve teases the Areola controller. Wasteland 2 actually downloads Eldritch Goes open source and Civilization in space. And we throw the chairs at foul play. All this, plus your hate mail. Let's go. And welcome back to another Linux Gamecast Weekly, the Linux gaming show that covers, guess what, Linux gaming news, reviews, how-tos, and most importantly, whatever the hell else we come up with. This week is no exception. I'm Vince Stone, switching the boards here at LGC Actual, all the way up north in Canadia land, that's Massa's Fang. And across the pond, P-Man Pedro Montes from Portugal. And combined with Shatrealm Static, we form a bit of a cocaine Voltron. But before we get started every week, we like to catch up, see what's been going on, if any fun new sax have been performed on the either. So, P-Man, I heard you upgraded the Ubuntu's.
Yep, my old desktop PC running Ubuntu 12.04.4, and I have upgraded Ubuntu 14.04. First thing I noticed, Steam doesn't install from the Ubuntu Software Center. Take that, Marshallsworth.
And for somebody with actual bandwidth.
Yeah, no, I got treated to a lovely show of Hall & Oates punk covers last night, so that was interesting.
Pretty punk. Did you spit out the car window for your punk point?
Yeah, I did.
Mm.
Some dude also tried to fondle me, so I gave him a really creepy look. That was awesome.
That's insatiably hot. Also, yes.
Also, yes.
No, I kind of had a fun thing. I was like, Dr. Lynn was like, you need to lower your sodium. She was checking out my little counts, and I was like, that's fine. So I quit eating sodium for about 4 days, and she's like, how much sodium have you had? I was like, none. Then she flips out because apparently you need sodium to live, too. Make up your mothering mind, woman. So I'm trying to find some healthy balance into that. Just whoring myself out with a sodium, but why don't you pay some bills, J-Man?
All right, pay our bills. Go to LinuxGameCast.com. Click on a forums button to join the chat realm. Statically linked. It's where we are the other 6 days of the week. You can join with any fucking Moon account you have. And of course, if you like reaping the benefits of illegal Mexican labor. Oh, no, we don't have that. We have our YouTube page, youtube.com/LinuxGamecast. Not run by illegal immigrants. That's the other thing. Check out our shows. We got players, how-tos. I think we did a players last night of the game we're reviewing this week, so check that out once it comes out. And of course, this is run by illegal Mexican workers, our Facebook page.
The one and only.
Yeah. You should. We have 109 likes. Oh my god.
We are crushing the Facebooks.
We are crushing the Facebooks. But what else is crushing the Facebooks? It's our second favorite Kiwi. Linux_gaming, the subreddit and all subreddits. And, we're all independently wealthy. We just throw our money at this show like there's no tomorrow, like there is no end. We literally made an entire Voltron out of cocaine. But, if you want to help us out a little bit, you can click on our podcast button, linuxgamecast.com/podcast, where you have those lovely, lovely donato buttons. A recurring donation of any denomination gets you a producer's credit, so you get to show your friends at the end of each episode how smart you are with your money. But of course, if you just want to toss us what's stinky for one time only, you can still get up on our wall of shame. It's the Linux Gaming Master Race.
Somebody made some poor financial decisions this week?
Yes. Someone made some very poor financial decisions this week. Jill R. gave us a donation of $20. So that's pretty awesome.
Went straight up P-Man's nose.
We do not talk about that.
But I hear we have some alligator situation going on.
Well, one thing we also have is HostGator, because they eat up the competition and don't shoot elephants, unlike some other hosting providers' CEO.
But I love Ivory. I want my Ivory-plated DNS servers.
That sounds like your problem. But we're talking about unlimited web hosting, unlimited disk space, bandwidth, easy control panel. It works. You can try a demo. One-click script installs, 100 quid. Google AdWords offers all this other business, starting at $3.96 a month, and they want to give us 20% off, J-Man. Why did they just want to give us 20% off?
Because they hate us. But you know what? We love you. So how about we give you 25% off?
That sounds awesome, and you can do that by entering our offer code LGCWeekFTW at checkout. And we get a little bit of the taste, and we can continue bringing this distortion-filled nightmare train to your face organs and your eye pussies and your ear pussies and all that other business. But what about the horse? You got any news?
Well, I mean, the horse is looking a bit weird lately. I mean, its nipples are like super erect. What the hell's up with that? It's our Steam
Linux
Update
of the
week.
Areola controller.
We got some exciting news about the Areola controller.
Yeah, check that business out. Steam controller will be in your hands by November, and this is not the controller we were promised.
No, it is not.
Now, I'm looking at this, they've replaced the touchscreen business with the button business, which I was like, that little touchscreen would be great to do a line off of. But, no, that's not going to be a thing. The source claimed to have knowledge of Valve's Steam Machines project and said at PAX East that Valve's Steam controller will be released in October or November. Pick one, of 2014.
Great knowledge.
Time for my birthday. Awesome.
Yeah.
Insider knowledge.
P-Man, are you going to pick one up?
I will pick one up. I just want to see how much that will set back my already dwindling bank account, but I will pick one up. And yeah, much like you, the touchscreen, I wanted to hack that touchscreen. Come on, man.
I mean, it's like the PlayStation 4 controller. When you use it on Linux, you can use the touchscreen as a mouse. I thought you'd be able to do a bit of that.
Yeah, true. Seriously, where I'm at in this particular situation is, if it's like 30 wet sticky caches, I'll buy it just to futz with it. But to be perfectly honest, if this clocks in at like 60 or 70,
which is probably what's
and I think it is going to clock in at about 60 or 70.
Yeah, yep. I'm just not going to have any tassels, and I'm not going to be able to rub Gabe's nipples because I'm not spending that much money on it.
That's sad. Gabe's nipples are crying at you, or that might just be milk.
Well, don't gauge the nipples, gauge the games.
Ooh, games. All right, so you guys have all probably been wondering, not really, what Steam's big data is all about. And to answer that question that no one has been asking, Ars Technica has released sort of a
Wow, they didn't put that chart at the bottom or anything. Okay.
A gauge of how many games are owned and how many games are played, how many hours and all that. So yeah, that chart you see there is the millions of estimated owners for each of the top 20 games. And the top 13 are available on Linux, which are followed at number 14 by Skyrim.
P-Man, I'm seeing, let's see, free game, might as well have been free game. Went free for a day, I think, game.
I mean, the top games are all Valve games, and they basically sell them for like $2 a pop on sales. So that's
and if you scroll down just a bit more, you'll see the green sections of the charts are actually the people who own the game but never played it. Yeah. So Dota 2 and Team Fortress 2, the people who own it are the people who play it. Makes sense because
Half-Life 2 Lost Coast is like most that and Half-Life 2 Deathmatch. No one really plays that game.
Then
wow. No, I'm looking at Ricochet here, and they even have to asterisks on that.
You know what? I'm part of that 0.3%.
Yep.
Awesome.
So if you go on over to the second page, the other interesting...
they needed 2 pages for this?
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
because there's a lot of text.
Oh, my chart that makes no sense because it's all the same fucking color.
Yep, 36.9% of all games owned on Steam are not played. No one's ever played them.
Right.
But yeah, scroll down just a bit more till about halfway down the scroll bar there. Yeah, that colorful graph right there. So you see estimated total hours played on Steam. And it says millions of hours since March 2009. Skyrim has 600 million, Civ 5 has 700 million, Dota 2 has 3 billion, almost 4 billion hours played. And what's interesting is the top 6 games most played on Steam amount to almost the exact same time as every other game on Steam. It's a difference of like 100 million hours-ish. So, yeah, you're either in the top 6 or you're just one of the others.
It seems like a lot of research for a question no one's asked.
Yeah, but that's ours for you. They're a bit glitchy in the head. But speaking of glitches, there's this early access game, Glitch Space. And it seems like an interesting concept. It's like a hacky Minecraft.
And you can tell, it's like, hey, look, available in the boobs.
No. If you scroll on down to the sidebar there, this game looks like it would be awesome with multiplayer, but really all it has is Oculus support and partial controller support. So, all those Oculus user can play this game.
Oh, what's this thing about, man? I've never heard of it.
Yeah. So this is like a visual programming game, sort of like
Visual
Minecraft,
Basic, the game.
Yeah, it's like the whole point of it is like you can hack the environments and make it change. It seems like a very interesting concept. You can watch the trailer for more information.
Fuck, is it like Minecraft for arch users?
It is Minecraft for arch users, pretty much. It's $7 for early access, but I would hold off on this, especially because of that partial controller support nonsense. That's
and it looks like they're trying to capitalize on that Double Fine game that's coming out, Hack and Slash.
Hack. Oh yeah, that one actually looks pretty.
Yeah, it looks like they're trying to get in as soon as Double Fine release that. They already have that out, so maybe people will pick that up thinking it's similar.
I don't know. It just looks Unity-tastic.
Let's just finish.
Yeah, it's time for the nuclear option then.
Quit dumping all over that game. Nuclear Throne. What is it? Nuclear Throne is hipster pixel graphics. Let me see. What is it? Nuclear Throne is whatever. Latest action roguelike. Oh. Okay. Oh, look, it's early access too. This has all my favorite ingredients for something that I want to die in a fire.
How much does this cost, Ben?
13 wet stinky caches.
Oh, fun.
No, you know what's interesting?
Oh, look, even better. Partial controllers.
Ooh.
That's not even it. You want to know what's interesting? According to the store page, it was released on early access in October 2013. It shows up for Linux in April 2014. What does that spell out to you guys?
Lazy porters and a shit game.
Looks like they're trying to double dip in the early access.
Oh yeah. We're not making enough money right now, so we kind of want more. Oh wait, there's like 1 million Linux users using Steam. Yeah, let's sell this piece of junk to those guys.
I mean, this really looks like a bad copy of Zelda from SNES days.
It's more like to Realm of the Mad God, sort of bullet hell type thing.
Just throw the word procedurally generated in there somewhere and I'll kill my own self.
But you know what, Pedro, it's about time to get wasted.
Yes, let's all get wasted on some Wasteland 2.
Finally, a Unity game that doesn't look like ass.
Doom.
All you have to do is not use any of the stock Unity graphics. Lo and beholds.
Yeah, that's one of the things. This game, it's a game done in Unity that could very well be done in any other engine because it does not use every single stock Unity asset. And it's still early access, so kudos on them for that. And about goddamn time you put it on Linux.
It's early access, it's Unity, and man, does it weigh in with the price tag. It's 60 wet stinky cashes for the digital deluxe edition, but they do explain that, this is part of the Kickstarter early reward, and if you want to dip in on that, you get some free extras and all that. I will say it looks decent for where it's at right now, but it is turn-based strategy. But I actually managed to play it for a good 15 minutes without clawing out my eye organs.
Nice.
P-Man, how did it run?
It ran stupidly well on my calculator.
Speaking, I'm going to cut you off for just a moment, because the developers really genuinely care how this thing is running under Linux, because less than 2 minutes after I posted, here I am cocking about with Wasteland 2, the developer's like, how's it run? On Twitter, it's like, boom. And I was like, well, who are you?
They actually mentioned
they do say in their Steam page that they haven't really tested it on many distributions, so I'd imagine they'd be super appreciative of any input for anyone who's testing this on, say, Arch or Slack.
And if you don't know what Wasteland 2 is, I'm happy, very happy to say that it is the original Fallout and Fallout 2 with a squad-based combat system done in Unity. And that's going to be a motherfucking time sink.
Space, the final frontier.
Yeah, this is the last Federation, and we were supposed to review this today, but that got pushed back. But what is this? This is a turn-based strategy space combat game where you basically pause and make a lot of pew-pew lights. I don't know. Based on the trailer, I haven't given this a playthrough yet, but based on the trailer, it looks like there's quite a bit of pew-pew. They advertise turn-based tactical combat up to 5 factions competing at once. Extremely deep simulation of an entire solar system and billions of inhabitants. But I don't know. One thing that stood out to me is if you look at the backgrounds in the trailer, they look a bit flat.
Yeah,
it's like they didn't really put too much effort into what's taking up the most of the screen, and it's very distracting.
Go to Google, type in space images, copy pasta.
Exactly. But it is available on Linux, and it's $15. Well, right now it's $15. It's on sale for 25% off. But it has that all-important feature of Steam trading cards. So check that out. If pew pew space battles are your thing. Pedro describes it as gratuitous space battles with actual control.
Yep.
But going on the space kick, you got the Drox Operative. This is an interesting little game with a very, very steep price tag. This is $19.99.
Isn't that the same thing we called our Jamaican adventure?
The Drox Adventure, yeah.
Adventure.
So I don't know. Given what's in the trailer and given what they're describing, this is basically like Eve or Faster Than Light meets Diablo. One thing that does, you basically wander around and blow other ships up. You go click, 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 click a lot. The one nice touch they have is cross-platform multiplayer, because that's not something that gets done quite a bit on Steam. But of course, with that $19.99 price tag, I'd probably wait till it was at least 50% off on some sale before picking this mother up. But it looks all right.
I haven't had a chance to futz with it, P-Man.
Me neither, but I did look at a couple of trailers and I saw a couple of Let's Plays on YouTube. It is very similar to Diablo, except instead of a typical RPG character, you have a ship. So, yeah, might give it a go.
But in the year 2066.
Yes. P-Man, do you know this? This has to be Unity. That just looks like Unity.
That is Unity.
Okay, I'm just looking at
balls out.
Look at those shrubs.
Look at those shrubs. Earth 2066.
I like how you can see the same tree twice. in the opening picture. That's a sign of quality right there.
Allow me to read the volume of the description. Earth 2066 is a first-person sci-fi apocalyptic open-world game where your main aim is to survive. That's called Rust. I mean, I was thinking through
Except
this.
this has less dick, which makes it worse inherently.
Right. How can you not put dick in open? And then I saw this gun, and I was like, oh, wow, really?
This is like a 5-year-old's drawing of a gun.
Somebody's interpretation. They must be Canadian and never seen one. But the all-important Unity works with Oculus, so we have that support. And it's like, yeah, that's brilliant. Oh, look, it's early. Oh, look, you want 20 quid for it. So, P-Man, are you throwing money at this? I mean, what is it, like a DayZ on a budget? Or...
Yeah, it's attempting to be a hybrid between Rust, DayZ, Fallout 3, and Stalker, the STLKR series, all doing it with the stock Unity assets. And I kind of get what they're aiming for, but I don't really feel like paying $20 for it.
Damn it! No,
Also,
I want the Conan
especially
robot.
when you're going to see nothing but the same tree over and over and over again.
Yep. Also, in the store page, it says, "Why is your game in early access? We decided to make early access to choose the right direction of game development with gamers' help." It's not gamers' help. It's just the one gamer.
Gamers
So, J-Man, any thoughts on this other than me?
Not really. No, this looks like shit. I'm not gonna buy this.
Well,
No,
we're not going to talk about shit anymore
getting-
because somebody has opened up a catalog of awesomeness in our
Oh
face.
my
organ.
God,
Wow.
Pajama Sam!
Titles like
Our
Spy
long
Fox,
national
Freddy
nightmare
Fish,
is
Humongous
over.
Pack, giggity, Pajama Sam, giggity, creepy way, and Putt Putt. We can
Putt
still make
Putt.
that a sex term.
Oh yeah.
Take it away, man.
Yeah. So if you've been paying attention, unless you've been living under a rock,
Holy,
you have to
what?
be paying
No,
attention.
That's
Yeah, we'll
$100
get
for
to
like
that. Give me
$20
just a
worth of
second.
games.
all right.
Give me just a second and I'll get to that. So, unless you've been living under a rock, you know that Steam has pretty much opened the floodgates for publishers to dump their entire back catalogs of shovelware into the client. And this is just the latest one and happens to be available for Linux as well. Now, I liked Freddy Fish when I was like 8.
27.
9?
One-
But I'm not about to pay 93 fucking euros for the whole complete bundle. Even if I just wanted the base games,
Pedro, I don't think you even have 93 euros.
I do have 93 euros, but fuck all if I'm going to spend them on this. Even if I just wanted to buy, the base games, not the spin-offs, I'd still have to pay 18 euros 94 cents. So that, doing the maths, that's around 74 euros worth of shovelware.
Well, the way
Oh,
I'm
really?
looking at it, I mean, it looks like kid-friendly type stuff, but if you're going to spend 100 quid, just buy your child some educational games like Half-Life 2, Painkiller, Hell and Damnation, Surgeon
Or buy them a
Simulator.
bunch of
Last
knives
night-
and hot glue guns.
Or,
Rust.
how about a
even
Raspberry
Rust.
Pi?
That's only $35.
That's
Yep.
sweet. Are you going to be picking up any of these for your future sperm babies?
Progeny. Yeah. But I think that wraps it up for Steam news, and the horse's nipples have gone back to their regular size.
With no tassels?
No
or touch on her
tassels. But coming up next, we're going Beyond Earth with the news.
And now, with that horse carefully put back in its stable, we get into the news. And Jordan, I hear you're a bit uncivilized.
I'm very uncivilized, but this is Sid Meier's Civilization Beyond Earth, and it's coming out to Linux. This is actually a pretty big deal. Civilization is a very, very well-known and old game series
Yep.
that people fucking love the shit out of. So the fact that this is coming out on Linux just tickles my scrotum. It's
Giggity.
very exciting stuff. The article doesn't really go much into the details other than they give some setting background and whatnot. There's a trailer, but you can check that out. All that stuff is available in our show notes directly under this video on LinuxGameCast.
But I mean, this whole thing, I mean, Civilization's always been about dealing with Earth.
Earth.
And now we're going to the stars?
to the stars.
And
You get
Polygon,
3 different layers.
they report that this fall, Linux, Mac, and Windows PC and Windows. God damn it! Quit saying Linux Moon device, Mac Moon device, and Windows PC for
Linux or Windows
$49.99.
personal computer.
Even though I'm not a huge fan of Civ, I never get into that. As long as they throw some George Clooney and Sandra Bullocks up into that business, I'll
Gravity.
throw some wet stinky at the screen. P-Man, you going to buy it?
Well, it does have some gravitas to it, but it's not my cup of tea.
Anybody see what he did there?
Yep. But
I mean, I got it.
something-
It just wasn't funny.
I know, but one thing that I didn't find it particularly funny, but I did finish the game, was Eldritch. And they have now released the source code under the zlib license.
It's anti-Semitic and open source.
Yeah, and I was
they?
sorely disappointed. I was sorely disappointed that by the time I was done compiling, the zombie of H.P. Lovecraft did not come after me to try to kill me.
Called
Very
you a dirty
disappointed.
Jew.
But yeah.
No, I'm looking at it. I'm trying to figure out. Let's just go to Eldritch. What was this? Oh, right. I remember this.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was that Minecraft looking dungeon crawler type thing.
It had
With
a
Inspired by the
very,
works
very
of Howard
neat
Phillips Lovecraft.
premise.
Yeah.
Source
But
code was-
then I hear you had some fun making a CMake file for this guy.
Well, they dumped that in Facebook. We're going to look through it. It was pretty clear that this has only been built on one computer. I mean, it was a nasty mess.
They give you like a code blocks project and they say have at.
Effectively.
Static
And
links everywhere.
started pulling out the static links, started running CMake. Then I noticed somebody over at Linux_Gaming. They were like, I'm working on it. I was like, you do that, because I don't really fucking care about this game. Then P-Man was like, but they didn't release the odd assets. And I was like, God damn it, Pedro, don't you understand how open sourcing engines works after all these years?
I did not say that. I was confirming that the
Quote,
CMake
unquote,
that,
you still need the assets to actually play the game. Pedro, what is?
Yes.
2014
Because-
YOLO swag.
While the CMake that guy released on
That's going to be
Linux_Gaming, it does work, but yeah, you still need the art assets and the textures and the models and all that to actually play the game.
So all that said, if you want to, get a download, head over to Linux_Gaming. I think there's a build for it. Eldritch game, if you already got it. I don't know why, unless you're a sadist, but I also can respect that. But let's kit it up with this. This is Gunscape. Create, share, and play. What
Is that like RuneScape at all?
No. RuneScape with guns. Well, no.
Guten
That's
Tag.
We
that's
need
not it
guns.
either.
Lots of guns.
Basically, what I can say about this is it's a first-person shooter construction kit. Basically, it's like
Guncraft.
That might be a good thing for it. It's got chickens. That's a very important mechanic of this game. But it does
Because
look
chickens.
Yeah. This might be
Macaque.
handy for
You know, because everyone wants some cock in their game.
learning how to write, like basic, block-oriented, graphic-oriented level design and stuff like, something an art user might need. Because, actual programming and all that business. You can download the demo. There's a thing. It's pre-alpha. And I like stuff like this. I mean, you can give it to a kid and teach them how to kill things. But when I say Minecraft, I'm not fucking with you. They still have, the whole block concept and things do different. And levers.
Voxels.
Right.
So many voxels.
And chickens.
All the voxels.
I'm actually glad Voxel, all the thing, didn't quite take off like it almost did.
Yeah, it certainly tried.
Fuck
Yep.
all it did.
But up next is
Black
a bit
and
of a
white.
noir syndrome. This is, it's nice that someone who
It's
makes
always a
Java
good sign
game-
when you pause and you go,
No, so this bills itself as a murder mystery roguelike,
Mhm.
where each time the mystery is randomly generated
Mhm.
and you have to go and solve it. Now that seems like an interesting concept, but then you realize that mysteries kind of require tight integration with the story. And if you're going to try and procedurally generate it, you might not be 100% there. There's definitely some pitfalls. But the one nice thing is, unlike some games, Spiral Knights, it is a Java game that actually they advertise as cross-platform. So there's that.
You mean they didn't try to lock a Java game into one OS?
No, it's almost as if like you can write something in Java and then it runs on all platforms that run Java.
No, right? That's there's one trend I've been noticing lately, which is every other game that comes out is a roguelike of some form or another.
Well, I mean, come on, you don't have to work on level design then, because it's randomly generated.
True.
But I mean, J-Man, when you say that, it's like, this isn't kind of like taking it to the next level of like, fuck even the story. Let's just randomly generate that.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see if that will actually work.
I'm curious as to how.
Well, it is
$7.
You can pick it up on their website. They have it on the Humble store for $6.99, or if you want the soundtrack, you can pay an extra 3 wet stinkies. You can get it on the Google Play. They do have a Greenlight page, so there's that if you want to see this on Steam. But I think that wraps it up for the news segment, don't you think?
How about we just brawl it out?
I'm tired of all this foul play that goes about in the making of this podcast. We need to clean up our acts and our chairs. We're naughty boys this week. We're reviewing Foul Play by Devolver Digital, who's made several other games that I can't remember for the life of me because they're all very, very, very forgettable. This is developed on a custom engine coded in C++. You can pick this up for $14.99, and it is play as Damon Hunter, Baron Dashforth, in a side-scrolling co-op brawler set entirely on the grand spectacle of a theater stage that rewards performance over pummeling. Now, of course, while these guys are locked in their chairs watching the show go on, we have our chairs that we're going to throw at them as the stage play goes on. We call those our review chairs. 1 chair means that it's shit, 2 chairs means that it's meh, 3 chairs means that it's pretty damn good, and 4 chairs means Pedro was going to go on like a 15-minute tirade about how awesome it is, and we're all going to want to kill ourselves after that. So, we also have our categories: Oh Doom, Makes with the Working, Shiny and Sounds, Controls and Fun. All those are self-explanatory. If you don't know what they mean, go back and watch some other reviews and reevaluate your life. So, then, Foul Play, gentlemanly beat 'em up. Did it make with the working?
It made with the working like you would not imagine. No issues with it whatsoever. Especially, coming from a custom engine. And you'll hear later about these ladies crying, "Hey, keep working my shit." Well, on our triple screen of awesomeness, it ran without issue. Because I use separate X screens, like a real man.
A real man, right? Green screen.
Real man who can't drag windows from one monitor to another one.
Because I can get that much shit done in one window. But this was tested on our minimum system requirement, Ubuntu 12.04 LTS, even though I'm looking forward to 14.04, which is it doesn't work with Steam. So 770 powered on the latest NVIDIA drivers. I'm going to give this business the 4 chairs. Cry, baby, cry.
Actually. So, I ran into a small issue, as did Pedro. If you're using, I guess, on my system, it'd be NVIDIA TwinView. On Pedro's, it would be some other nonsense. But
Moon Option 6.
This game likes to... Oh, actually, no, because he's on Mesa, so it's just an extended X display. But anyways, this game likes to shut down your secondary monitors while you're playing this game. And it's 2014, guys. You shouldn't have to do this. Come on. Just come on. So I tested this on my NVIDIA 670 powered AMD 1090T Fedora 20 64-bit box down here, and on my A10 5800K APU Fedora 20 base system, and they both work fairly fine. It's just that one dual monitor issue that's going to make me ding that a chair. So 3 chairs.
Yeah, It's pretty much what Jordan said for me too. I'm using the open source drivers on a 5650 HD Mobility Radeon. On the 10-year-old desktop PC, I do have an NVIDIA 7600 GS. And since that particular PC only has one monitor, it ran out of the box on that one. But on the calculator, it set my monitors to clone each other. And even after I put it in windowed mode, it refused to reset back to extended desktop. So, yeah, 3 chairs.
Fun stuff. So that's 3 chairs for Makes with the Working. Coming up next is the infamous Shiny and Sounds category. Vend this tickle your eyes and or ear pussies.
Well, let's take a quick look at this. When I first started this game up, I was thinking in my brain organ, I was like, is this a Double Fine production? Because they are fuck all sucking that dick with the art style. It really reminded me of what was the little Russian hat?
Stacking.
Stacking. Brilliant
Stacking,
name on
yeah.
that. But then again, I love Double Fine's art style, which does mean I love the way this game genuinely looked. Didn't have any issues with it. The sounds, yeah, that's where the Nope train starts pulling into the station on this. I'm not constipated. I'm giving you the soundtrack for this business. And there's some noise in the background, but I'm not really focused on that. Found it a bit repetitive. So, even with that blazing art style that I really, really genuinely love, I can't say anything wrong about it. The whole theatrical, the way it was presented, hit every, thing in my groin organ. Those grunts, got a ding at a chair. So I'm going to give it 3, which is not bad. J-Man.
Yeah, so I like Ben said, I didn't really care for the music, so instead I was serenaded by the dulcet tones of Mr. Chuck Schuldner. I threw a link in the show notes if you want to check out what one of the songs I was listening to while playing this game. I do like the play gimmick, though. The presentation of this game is very, very unique. I like the whole move on to the next screen thing, and the some of the idiotic stagehands got a chuckle out of me every once in a while as they're trying to clear off the stage and whatnot. I like the cane that pulls people off. Though while the art style does fit the game, it does come off as a little cheap. I don't know. They could have done a little more. They could have had a little more effort with the models, and of course with the sounds. The cacophonous. Good God, y'all!
What chat?
What is it good for? About 2 chairs.
Oh.
Yeah. So, mostly to reiterate what you guys just said, the art style I could dig. The whole stage, life is a stage metaphor brought into the literal side of things. It's a clever sort of way to present the game, and I could definitely get behind that. And again, the art is dead on for what the game is. The repetitious music, the half-second of voice acting when characters start to deliver their lines, and the exact same grunts coming out constantly from the enemies and your character. Oh my god! Really? 2 chairs.
Alright, so that's 2 chairs for Shiny and Sounds. Now, this is going to be a quick one, because, Ben, did you feel like you were in control?
Yeah, it was very much in control. Honestly, it worked out of the box with the excluding controller. Didn't try it with the keyboard or wireless gerbil. No issues with any of that. All the button mashing worked like I would expect. And when I mean button mashing, that's kind of how you play a game such as this. You mash buttons, and buttons were mashed, and they responded like mashed buttons should. 4 chairs. Check that business.
Yeah, pretty much. This game does essentially devolve into a button mash fest until you realize the best strategy is just to play defensive and counter everyone, because then you get an area attack. But the controls are tight. I didn't have an issue with them. Worked out of the box with my Hori Xbox controller and my plain old regular Xbox controller. So that's all good. That's 4 chairs for control.
In Moon Controller Land.
In Moon Controller Land, with my PS2 DualShock here, it notified and made a point out of giving me a choice to properly configure my controller the very first time I started the game. And that was kind of awesome. But then I went into the controller customization options that they offered to take me to, and I realized that it was properly recognized. I didn't have to change a goddamn thing. 4 chairs.
Yay. So that's 4 chairs with the controls. And finally, our subjective category. Ven, did you have fun playing this game?
Woo! You know, for the first 20 minutes, I was all woo about this business. Because every now and then, you know, like I said, we did swap games because I was like, fuck all if I'm playing another turn-based strategy game. And this was button-mashing nonsense, Mayhem Simulator 2014. But when I said the first 20 minutes, I do mean the first 20 minutes. Because then you're like, yeah, that's neat. Same enemies. Keep coming at you, keep coming at you. You unlock all your moves, and it's like, this is my full tool set. And you master all your things, and you just get to the point where it's like, all right, I need to get the... Because here's the mechanic. Instead of really a health bar, you have the applausometertron. And if the audience doesn't like, you know, how well you're curb stomping all the things and throwing your hell Hitlers and all that business, and invading foreign countries, is because this is set in the old time days.
Hail Satan!
Notice how there's no black people in the audience
Of
either.
course. Yeah, it was a gimmick, but it was kind of neat. I think J-Man's going to bring up, you know, like one of your turbo, like, accidental moves to improve everything that I completely forgot about, because after a while you realize you genuinely just have to, like, run and hide from enemies in order for that thing to go all the way down. But after about 20 minutes of this, I got through a few acts. It's like, this is hell repetitive. It's kind of boring. Let's go online and play with other people. Giggity. And that really doesn't add anything to it other than a separate layer of frustration. Maybe we could have pulled this off, you know, on Skype and all that and playing it. But still, it would be more of the same, except you would get to share your frustration with everyone else. Not saying it's not fun. I'm just saying this is not something that if you're into, like, brawl and mash 'em ups, is going to be continuously satisfying down the road. So for fun, I'm going to give this a 2 chair, because that's what I think it deserves. Oh, good sir.
Whoa, Quads. How dare you? Oh, I should have actually got my monocle and top hat. God damn it. Damn you, hindsight. But that's... Yeah, this game is pretty brutally repetitive. It's the same 3 or 4 enemies each and every time, and there's very little variety. And again, once you figure out the best strategy is just to go full defensive and do nothing but counter, or just work on denials, it becomes very, 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 very simple. Some of the challenges make it a bit interesting. I got a bit pissed off. There was one where you had to beat like 100 enemies in less than a minute, and I was off by 1 second, and I had 1 enemy left, and I was just like, God damn. That was really the only emotion this game evoked out of me.
Ingrid gets shit done.
But yeah, no, I do like the mechanics. I do like the whole audience applausometer. They do have this one thing where you can enter bullet time and just start draining your health, but everyone moves slower and you have more time to counter and beat people up and whatnot. But you tend to forget that it's even there. Actually, I tend to forget that all the functionality for the shoulder buttons are there because they give you a nice little dodge thing, but I just never used it because blocking works perfectly fine. This game, I don't know. I played it for like an hour, and basically after every act, I felt I needed to take a break because it's just too much. It's the same crap again and again and again. And their idea of increasing difficulty is just adding more enemies. They don't get any smarter or anything like that. I have not get a chance to try this out with multiplayer, though. I tried to get some people from Shat Realm to play with me, but to no avail. Those assholes. So, in closure, I will give this 2 chairs for fun. It's good for about half an hour, and then you just kind of want to put it down and do something else with your time.
Okay. it is a fun brawler if you find like a video or a podcast, hint, hint, to play in the background in such a way as you don't have to listen to the grunting and the same 5-second background music loop. Because this game, okay, again, I like the stage metaphor and I like the art style. But the sounds, they kill it. And like Jordan said, you're constantly, for each and every act, you get 2 different types of enemies, or 3, perhaps even a boss. And the boss doesn't require any particular skill. It's just a regular enemy with a higher HP bar. So
And a harder to block attack.
Yeah. And it doesn't help, you know, an indie game to be this boring. You could have made the acts, let's say, 5 minutes shorter. It would have made it so much better. I got bored after the first act. I made it through the following 3, and by the time I finished Act 4, I was done. I can't. I'm sorry. I can't. 2 chairs.
So that's 2 chairs for the fun category. And if we total all this nonsense up, we have a final score of 2 chairs. Vin, show him the chair explanation again. It's not sure if wants. I mean, really, it boils down to this is a mediocre game.
Well, I think you have a different take on it because you paid what it cost on the tin.
Yes. It was available on the Humble Weekly Bundle, which I neglected to notice, so I paid full price for this game. Which is $15. This is not worth $15.
I paid £6 for this, and I was like, yeah, that influenced my score. Trust me, I would have knocked a few chairs if I went retail on this business. And again, I'm not saying it's a horrible game. I mean, it's just your thing. But I don't even see something like this as like, hey, bro, you know, let's sit down and play this for like 30 minutes.
I mean, Guacamelee is a much better brawler that does pretty much the same thing.
Final thoughts,
there's variance in the levels.
Yeah, and this, it's not exactly like Guacamelee. This is more of a spectacle fighter, and the stage metaphor kind of reinforces that. It's sort of like
Dust meets Double Dragon almost.
Sort of, yeah. It's got a bit of Devil May Cry in it, namely the comboing things that you a higher score at the end of the level.
None of the fuck you hard.
Yeah, and I don't know. They could have done it so much better if it wasn't so grindy. If it wasn't the exact same thing for 10 fucking minutes for each and every goddamn act.
It's like 15 minutes for every act, man. That's just... Ugh.
All right, save that hate.
Ugh.
Coming up next, you like to scream in our face organs, so we're going to scream back in yours. It's our hate mail section.
Ooh.
And I keep telling you guys, my dad is not an... Oh, we're doing this? Okay. Hi, welcome back to the hate mail. If you'd like to get in touch with us, make sure to go on over to LinuxGameCast.com. Just click on the contact button on the nav bar there, fill out your name, fill out your email, give us a subject, give us your message, prove you're perhaps smarter than a bot. Although, if you are trying to promote your Kickstarter, Indiegogo, or even your dying Last Hope Steam Greenlight campaign, just make sure to include a demo of your game. Otherwise, we're not going to mention it, and we are probably going to make fun of you. All right? Okay.
Also, yes.
Ven, I heard the random Iculus has appeared.
A wild Iculus appeared.
A wild Iculus.
You might know him from this guy who used to work at Loki. He's ported basically half the fucking Linux games ever made. It was just, you know, as I'm off to do with Ryan, and it's like, Goat Simulator also, yes. And I just laid into him a couple of times in a few different formats. So Ryan gets so wait, also yes, quote unquote, the thing you keep saying to me is from Archer ? I imagined you following me around the house with a megaphone. Would you like to read the top parts, J-Man?
I built the client for that project today.
Also, yes.
Is there any coffee left?
Also, yes.
Honey, we're out of toilet paper here.
Also, yes. Now,
Go ahead. You want to reply also yes to this?
That's where I got to drop the bomb, right? Wait a minute, Ryan. Eculus. Are we not doing phrasing? Zing!
Zing!
Made my day right there, but he was slightly inebriated when he wrote that. So,
yeah. It's always fun to fuck with the devs.
It is. Good man.
Pedro, apparently we missed something last
You
week.
pissed off a Russian.
Apparently, Mr. Karnasov was kind of angry that we sort of missed it. Namely, you guys didn't mention the Star Citizen confirmation. That was like the biggest news all week. You want to know what's ironic? Right below his
talked about
comment,
it
someone
the week
replied, "What the hell is Star Citizen?"
That was your girlfriend.
Yeah.
So
we
Star
talked about
Citizen,
Star
for those
Citizen
of
for a
you
couple weeks.
who don't know, it's a game developed by some guy, and his company is called the Robert Space Industries. Yeah, we in fact did not mention it. It may have been forgetfulness, or it may have been the fact that early on in the campaign, they did mention that if the CryEngine, which is what they're building their game on, would support Linux and Mac OS, that they would release support of that game. So
And
that was
guess
not
what
technically
happened?
news.
Well, I'm kind of with the P-Man on that. I don't normally say, get it's like, oh, Linux support. Right. Are you developing that concurrently with your... It's like, no, not so much. But we have a fan.
fan.
Girls.
Yes. This
So-
is from Jill B. She says, "Hi, Ven, and the crew of Linux Gamecast Weekly. Just wanted to let you know that LGC is one of my favorite podcasts. Codcasts.
Codcasts.
It's a Freudian slip.
See.
And that I look forward to every week. As a longtime Linux user since the early 90s and a Linux gamer, it is so wonderful to hear both my passions represented in one awesome show, smiley face. And yes, there is at least one lady listening to your show, winky face. I hope I am not the only one, though. Wait, we people listen to the show?
A, my first
Apparently.
surprise. B, I'm thinking cage match between Liz
Mm.
and Jill. P-Man?
And
I don't know.
on
Liz is
the
pretty
off
powerfully
episode
built.
that
I'd
she
probably
does
give it
listen
to
to
her.
the show.
Hey, you ever tangled with Liz, man? Just teeth and nails.
Yeah, no, like have you seen that woman? She's buff.
Yep.
No, but seriously, I mean, thanks for listening to the show. It's definitely a bit of a boys' club, but if you're into that,
Sausage festival.
hot.
yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Wiener.
Didn't see that one coming, did you? But no, I mean, seriously, good on you lot, and thanks for the wet stinker. We'll put that towards buying Pedro a girlfriend.
I don't think Harry's going to be very happy about that.
That's the point. And on that bombshell, let's cue the music, because we're here every week watching live. You should be too, because I'm Vince Stone at Vince Stone, cleverly disguised at plus Vince Stone on the Googles. J-Man?
I'm Jordan Svung. You can find me on Twitter at The Burning Fool, or if you're on that Google Plus nonsense, check me out at plus Jordan Svung.
Oh my God!
And
Why is
finally,
Chris
the
Fisher
Mexican
following me on
dance.
Google Plus?
Yep. So I am Pedro Mateos. You can find me at Unaccounted For on the Twitter nets, or plus Pedro Mateos on the Google Pluses.
So let's not say anything sexist at all, like looking for the System D.
You mean the D-Bus?
That's sexist, you clobber.
That's Claudus, you insufferable Mexican.
No, I'm staying out of this one. Nope.
Too bad.
And that is that?
All right, I'm gonna go do some drugs.
Yes.
Hi, NSA.